A few days ago, gaming PC vendor Eurocom appeared to leak some information about an upcoming Intel NASDAQINTC processor targeted at the enthusiast and gaming community. For Eurocom, Intel is planning to launch a gaming chip with 8 cores in the second half of 2018. I had originally assumed that this 8-core part was based on the company's upcoming Ice Lake architecture and manufactured using the company's 10nm technology. Image source Intel. However, benchlife.info appears to have come across some information that indicates that the 8-core chip referenced by Eurocom isn't based on the Ice Lake architecture, but instead on the same Coffee Lake architecture that underlies Intel's upcoming 6-core processors. A sensible option. Intel's upcoming Coffee Lake architecture chips are expected to be manufactured in the company's third-generation 14nm technology, known as 14 nanometers. 14 nanometers, per Intel, offers either 26% better transistor performance than its original 14nm technology introduced back in 2014 at similar power consumption, or 52% lower power consumption at the same performance level. In fact, 14 nanometers is so good, at least according to ASU Intel, that in terms of transistor performance, it's better than both Intel's first-generation 10nm technology and its second-generation 10nm technology, known as 10 nanometers. From a cost perspective, Intel says that the cost per transistor of its newer 10nm technology should be lower than that of its 14nm technology and performance-enhanced derivatives. However, those claims are normalized for manufacturing yields. The reality is that Intel's 14nm technology has been in mass production since mid-2014, and by the time this rumored 8-core Coffee Lake chip should launch, the technology should be extremely mature. In contrast, Intel's issues in ramping its 10nm technology are well known, and low yield rates on the technology probably mean that the die cost of an 8-core Ice Lake chip built with 10nm is higher than the die cost of the rumored 8-core Coffee Lake chip using 14 nanometers. Moreover, yield rates don't just affect products' cost, they can affect supply, too. Low yield rates mean that for a given amount of silicon wafer production capacity, fewer saleable processes can be produced. Such supply issues can negatively impact a company's ability to meet demand for its products, hurting its financial results and souring relationships with customers. A company can theoretically just put much more capacity into place to try to compensate for low yield rates, but as yield rates improve, such a strategy would ultimately lead to excess manufacturing capacity, something that can very negatively impact company profits. So, if Intel's 10nm technology isn't in great shape, Intel's management may have decided to take a more pragmatic approach by just building an improved, relatively low-risk product using its mature 14nm technology rather than try to push 10nm products out the door when those products simply can't be manufactured at reasonable costs or in the desired quantities.